All right, so you're prepping for an interview to become an equine dental technician.
That's pretty niche.
It is. And lucky for you, we've got RoleCatcher's resources with us for this deep dive. We're going to go over all those tricky interview questions and really help you nail this.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people think this job is just cleaning teeth, but it's so much more. It's like crucial to the horse's health and well-being.
I was just going to say, the RoleCatcher Career Guide actually says that equine dental technicians have to follow all this national legislation and even use all this specialized equipment.
And you have to know all about horse teeth. It's way more complex than you think. You'd be surprised.
Wow, well, that's good to know. The guide also says,
Oh, absolutely. More demand, more opportunities. And speaking of opportunities, we should mention something really important before we dive into those interview questions.
okay, what's that?
A lot of employers these days use automated systems to screen applications.
Oh, right, like those AI systems that scan resumes.
Exactly. So that's where RoleCatcher's AI can help you.
Because it can, like, figure out how well your resume matches the job description.
Yeah, it analyzes both and gives you a score. That way, you can tailor your resume so it actually gets seen by a person.
So that's a huge advantage. It's like having someone make sure your resume doesn't just get lost in the system.
Exactly. Okay, so are you ready to tackle some interview questions?
Let's do it. Hit me with the first one.
Okay, so the first one is, can you walk me through your experience with equine dentistry?
Okay, so with this one, I feel like they're really just trying to get a sense of your passion.
Yeah, they want to see your dedication, your journey.
Okay, so you should talk about your education.
Uh-huh. Any certifications you have? Any experience working with horses?
Right, even if it's not, like, specifically equine dentistry, right? Maybe
Right.
volunteering at a stable or something.
Yeah, for sure. Anything that shows you understand horses and how to care for them. And, don't be afraid to talk about challenges you faced.
Like what kind of challenges?
Well, like maybe a time you had to learn a new technique or deal with a difficult horse. It shows like resilience and a commitment to learning.
Makes sense. So for this first question, just paint a picture of your experience and why this career feels like a natural fit.
Right. Show them why you want to do this.
Okay, what's the next question?
How do you stay current with advancements in equine dentistry?
So with this one, they're probably looking for you to show that you're, like, constantly learning, right? That you're not just stuck in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Equine dentistry is always evolving.
So they want to see that you're keeping up with the latest. So how would you answer that?
Well, I'd mention any publications I read, workshops I've taken, online courses, conferences.
You could even mention any industry leaders you follow on social media, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Or like new techniques you're excited about.
Cool. So basically, just show them that you're passionate about staying on top of things.
And that you're proactive about your learning. Okay, ready for the next one.
Yeah, bring it on.
What do you consider to be the most challenging aspect of equine dentistry?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Yeah, this is where they're looking for honesty and self-awareness. Every job has its tough parts, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So what kind of challenges would you highlight for this job?
Hmm. Well, you could talk about the physical demands, for one. It's a lot of like hands-on work, often in awkward positions.
And you're working with big animals, right? And that can be unpredictable.
Absolutely. And then there's the emotional side of things. Sometimes you're dealing with horses that are in pain. You have to be able to handle that.
Okay, so be honest about the challenges.
Yeah.
But you probably also want to talk about how you overcome them. Right.
Definitely. Mention the strategies you use to deal with stress, difficult horses, that kind of thing. And don't forget to emphasize the rewarding aspects of the job.
The reason you love it.
Yeah. Talk about the satisfaction you get from helping horses, improving their well-being. You could even weave in RoleCatcher here.
Oh, how would you do that?
You could say something like, RoleCatcher's career guide actually helped me understand the balance of challenges and rewards in this field.
That's smart. It shows you've done your research. Okay, so be honest about the tough stuff, but also show them you're in it for the right reasons.
Exactly. Okay, ready for another one?
Hit me.
How do you handle a difficult or aggressive horse during a dental exam?
Okay, so this is all about safety, right? Both for you and the horse.
You got it. They want to see that you can stay calm under pressure.
And that you prioritize safety. So what kind of things would you say here?
Well, you'd want to describe specific techniques you use to calm a horse down, like speaking softly, moving slowly, using gentle restraint.
Would you also mention how you communicate with the owner in that situation?
Oh, definitely. You always want to keep the owner informed, respect their concerns, and, maybe even involve a veterinarian if necessary.
Right, so it's about clear communication and collaboration.
Exactly. Show them you can adapt to different situations and keep everyone safe.
Okay, next question.
Okay, this one's a little bit technical. Can you explain the process of floating a horse's teeth?
Okay, so this is one where you really need to show that you know your stuff.
Yeah, but you also need to be able to explain it in a way that a non-expert can understand.
Because you're often communicating with horse owners who might not know all the technical terms.
Exactly. So start by explaining why floating is necessary.
Right, like why do horses need their teeth filed down?
Exactly. Then you can describe the steps involved using clear and simple language.
I actually think this is a perfect question to practice with RoleCatcher's AI.
Oh, yeah, good point. Because RoleCatcher can give you feedback on your delivery and make sure you're hitting all the key points.
It's like having a practice run before the real deal.
Exactly. Okay, next question.
I'm ready.
How do you communicate with horse owners and veterinarians about dental issues and treatment options?
So again, communication seems to be like a really big part of this job.
It's essential. You're kind of like a translator in a way. You need to be able to communicate effectively with both experts and, everyday horse owners.
And they probably both require different approaches, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like with owners, you want to use simple language, address their concerns with empathy, and really just build a good relationship.
But with vets, you'd be more technical, right?
Exactly. You'd want to highlight your ability to collaborate effectively, share your findings, and discuss treatment options in a professional manner.
So basically just show that you can adapt your communication style depending on who you're talking to.
Exactly. It's all about building trust and communicating clearly.
Okay, I'm ready for the next one. What do you have?
How do you ensure the safety of the horse during a dental exam or procedure?
Okay, so this one seems pretty straightforward.
It might seem that way, but they're looking for more than just a general statement about being careful. They want specifics.
Like what kind of specifics?
Well, you could mention the equipment you use, how you assess the horse's temperament, the steps you take to minimize stress.
So for example, you could talk about using a padded mouth speculum.
Exactly. Or working with an assistant to help steady the horse.
Or maybe even mentioning how you use your knowledge of equine behavior to anticipate potential issues.
Yeah, all great examples. The key is to demonstrate that you have a thorough understanding of safety protocols and that you take them seriously.
And again, RoleCatcher's AI feedback can really help you fine-tune your answer here. Make sure you're coming across as knowledgeable and confident.
Exactly. It's all about presenting yourself in the best possible light. Okay, ready for the next one?
Lay it on me.
How do you maintain accurate records of a horse's dental health?
Oh, so this is about organization and attention to detail.
Absolutely. They want to know that you can keep track of important information and make sure everything's documented properly.
So you'd mention your preferred methods for record keeping, right?
Yeah, whether it's digital or paper-based, just explain your system and how you ensure that records are complete, accessible, and secure.
And it's also a good opportunity to tie back to that communication theme, right? Because good record keeping helps facilitate communication with vets and owners.
Exactly. It shows that you understand the importance of clear and accurate documentation. Okay, last question in this section. Ready?
Yep, bring it on.
How do you educate horse owners on proper dental care for their horses?
So this is about more than just doing the procedure, right? It's about empowering owners to take care of their horse's teeth.
You got it. They want to see that you can explain things clearly and answer questions in a way that makes sense to someone who's not an expert.
So what kind of things would you talk about here?
I'd mention how I explain dental care routines, like how often to brush, what to look for in terms of problems, the importance of regular checkups.
Would you also mention any resources you use? Like educational brochures or diagrams?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anything that shows you're committed to providing owners with the information they need.
And it's also about building that relationship, right?
Oh, absolutely. You want to show them that you're not just a technician, but a partner in their horse's care.
Okay, so be informative, be approachable, and be passionate about educating owners.
Exactly. All right, ready for the next section of our deep dive?
Let's do it. What are we talking about next?
We're going to explore the different stages of an equine dental technician's career, as outlined in RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Oh, cool. I'm actually really curious about that. I'm guessing the responsibilities change quite a bit as you gain experience.
They do. It's pretty fascinating how your expertise and the things you're expected to do evolve over time.
So tell me, what does it look like at the entry level?
Well, when you're just starting out, you're mostly assisting more experienced technicians, observing procedures, gradually building your skills.
There's a lot of hands-on learning.
Definitely. It's all about getting that real-world experience. Then, as you progress to the senior level, you start taking on more responsibility, performing more complex procedures on your own.
And maybe even mentoring newer technicians.
Exactly. You start sharing your knowledge and helping others develop their skills.
That's awesome. So what about the master level? What sets those folks apart?
Master equine dental technicians are like the top of the field. They have this deep understanding of equine dental anatomy and physiology.
They're the experts.
Exactly. They're proficient in all sorts of procedures, and often they even contribute to the field through research, teaching, or developing new techniques.
Wow, that's impressive. And I bet demonstrating that ambition and desire to learn is really important in the interview, right?
Absolutely. It shows employers that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking to build a career. You want to grow and contribute to the field.
Right. It's that passion that really shines through.
Exactly. And speaking of professional development, RoleCatcher's Career Guide also highlights the importance of certifications.
Oh, right. There are those specific certifications for equine dental technicians, aren't there?
Yep. There's the Certified Equine Dental Technician, or CEDT, and the Equine Dental Technician, or EDT.
And those certifications demonstrate a commitment to upholding industry standards, right?
Exactly. They show that you've taken the time to really learn your craft and that you're dedicated to providing high-quality care.
And I bet a lot of employers prefer or even require those certifications, especially for more senior roles.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a seal of approval that validates your expertise. And knowing about these certifications ahead of time allows you to plan for your future career growth.
It shows you're thinking long-term and are serious about this profession.
Exactly. It's all about investing in yourself and your career. Now, before we move on to the final section of our deep dive, I wanted to mention one more way RoleCatcher can help you prepare for your interview.
Okay, we've talked about the AI resume analysis and the feedback on practice answers, but what else is there?
Well, RoleCatcher offers a ton of resources that are specifically tailored to different job roles.
Oh, cool. So, like, what kind of resources are we talking about?
For example, let's say you're struggling to come up with a good answer to that question about floating a horse's teeth. RoleCatcher's interview guide actually has detailed response examples for that specific question.
Oh, wow. So it's not about giving you a canned answer, but more like providing a framework and guidance.
Exactly. It helps you understand the key points to hit, the right tone to use, and how much detail to provide.
It's like having a personal coach walking you through it.
That's a great way to put it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored what an equine dental technician does, gone over some tough interview questions, and even talked about career progression and certifications.
And we've highlighted how RoleCatcher can help you every step of the way.
Exactly. So before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to remember as they continue their interview prep?
I'd say the most important thing is to be prepared. Use all the resources available to you, including those awesome AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher, to really hone your skills, build your confidence, and show those employers why you're the perfect candidate.
That's great advice. And on that note, we'll wrap up part 1 of our deep dive. But don't worry, we've got 2 more parts coming up where we'll dig even deeper into this fascinating career path, so stay tuned.
With vets, you can use more of the technical terms.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and you really want to highlight, that you can work together well with them.
Collaborate.
Yeah, collaborate. Share what you find and talk about, treatment options professionally.
Right. So it's all about being able to talk to different people
Yeah.
in different ways.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready for the next one.
How do you ensure the safety of the horse during a dental exam or procedure?
Okay, so this one seems like it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Yeah, it might seem that way, but they're really looking for you to go deeper than that.
Oh, wait, okay, so like what kind of details would you give?
Well, you could talk about the specific equipment that you use, how you figure out the horse's temperament, and what you do to keep them calm and comfortable.
So like you had mentioned using a padded mouth speculum
Exactly.
or working with an assistant.
Yeah, for sure, things like that. And you could even talk about how you use your knowledge of horse behavior
Right.
to kind of anticipate any problems that might come up.
Like I approach the horse slowly and calmly so I don't startle them or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. And this is another good one to practice with RoleCatcher's AI.
Oh, yeah, because it can analyze like your tone and your word choice and everything.
Yeah, and it can tell you, if you're coming across as confident and knowledgeable.
Awesome. Okay, so show them, how to be safe around horses.
Right, safety first.
What's the next question?
How do you maintain accurate records of a horse's dental health?
So this is about being organized
Yeah,
and paying attention to detail.
exactly. They want to know you can keep good records
Yeah.
and that everything's documented.
Okay, so you want to talk about, whether you use digital records or paper records or whatever your system is.
Yeah, just explain how you keep everything organized and accessible and secure.
And it kind of ties back to that communication piece too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure, because having good records makes it so much easier to communicate with the vet and the owner.
Exactly. It shows you understand how important it is.
All right, so last question in this section. Are you ready?
Hate me.
How do you educate horse owners on proper dental care for their horses?
So it's more than just like, doing the procedure. You're also like a teacher,
Yeah, you're educating the owners.
so they can take good care of their horse's teeth.
Exactly, and they want to see that you can explain things in a way that people who aren't, experts can understand.
So what kind of things would you say?
Well, I would talk about how I explain the daily care routine, how often to brush, what to look for, if there might be problems, the importance of regular checkups.
And you mentioned, if you use any resources like diagrams or brochures.
Oh, yeah, anything that shows you're going above and beyond to give owners the information they need.
And it's also about building a relationship.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to show them that you're not just, some technician, that you're a partner in their horse's care.
Awesome. Okay,
Okay.
so be informative, be approachable, be passionate.
Exactly.
All right, what's next?
Can you describe your experience with dental radiography in equine dentistry?
Okay, so this one's getting pretty specific.
Yeah, this one's more technical. It's all about whether you've used dental x-rays on horses.
So if you have experience, you'd want to talk about what kind of equipment you've used, the procedures, you're familiar with the safety protocols.
Exactly. Show them what you're doing.
But what if you don't have experience with this, specific technology?
That's totally fine. Just be honest about it, but also express that you're willing to learn
Right.
and that you understand how important it is. You could mention any relevant courses you've taken or training you've had.
Okay, so even if it's not something you've done a lot, you can still show that you get it.
Exactly. All right, so now I think it's a good time to move on to the career progression part.
Oh yeah, RoleCatcher's Career Guide talks about, the different stages of an equine dental technician's career.
Right. It's really cool how it lays out, how your responsibilities and expertise kind of grow over time.
So let's talk about it. What does it look like, for somebody just starting out at the entry level?
Well, at the entry level, you're mainly assisting more experienced technicians,
Yeah.
observing procedures and kind of gradually building your skill set.
So lots of hands-on learning.
Yeah, definitely. And getting that real world experience. Then as you move up to the senior level, you start to take on more responsibility.
Okay.
You start doing more complex procedures independently.
And maybe you even start mentoring the newer technicians.
Exactly. You're passing on your knowledge, helping them develop their skills.
That's cool. And then what about like the master level?
What sets those folks apart?
Yeah, what makes them masters?
Well, master equine dental technicians are like at the very top of the profession. They've got this really deep understanding of, equine dental anatomy and physiology.
So they're like the experts.
Exactly. They're the experts. They can do all sorts of procedures, and they often even contribute to the field, through research or teaching or developing new techniques.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. And I bet, showing that ambition, that desire to learn that,
Yeah.
got to be really impressive in an interview.
Oh, absolutely. It shows that you're not just there for a job, you're there for a career.
Right, you want to keep growing.
You want to contribute to the field, exactly. And speaking of professional development, we should mention those certifications again.
Oh, right. Those specific certifications for equine dental technicians.
Yeah, you've got the Certified Equine Dental Technician, or CEDT,
Okay.
and then the Equine Dental Technician, or EDT.
Right, and those show that you've really committed to upholding those industry standards.
Exactly. They show that you've taken the time to really, master your craft and that you're serious about providing top-notch care.
And a lot of employers prefer or even require those certifications.
Oh, yeah, especially for those more senior roles.
It's like a stamp of approval.
Exactly. It validates all your hard work and expertise.
Awesome. So if you're thinking about a career as an equine dental technician, definitely look into those certifications.
Yeah, it's a great way to show employers that you're serious about this field and that you're invested in your professional development.
Okay, so before we wrap up this section, I wanted to touch on one more thing that RoleCatcher can do to help with the interview process.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about the AI resume analysis and the feedback on practice answers, but there's even more.
What else is there?
Well, RoleCatcher has all these resources that are specifically designed for different job roles.
Oh, cool. Like what kind of resources are we talking about?
So let's say you're trying to come up with a really good answer for that question about floating a horse's teeth.
Right.
RoleCatcher's interview guide actually has detailed response examples for that specific question.
Wow. So it's not giving you like a canned answer. It's more like giving you a framework,
Yeah,
like some guidance.
exactly. It helps you understand the main points you need to cover and the right tone, and you know how much detail to give.
It's like having a coach in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
I love that. So RoleCatcher can help you, with your resume, with your answers, even with just like understanding the career path.
Yeah, it's a really awesome resource.
Okay, well, we've covered so much in this deep dive. We've talked about, what an equine dental technician does. We've gone through some of those tricky interview questions.
We've talked about career progression certifications.
All that good stuff.
And we've highlighted all the ways that RoleCatcher can help you, throughout the whole process.
Exactly. So before we wrap up this part, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is to be prepared. Use all the resources that are out there, including those awesome AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher. Really take the time to hone your skills, build your confidence, and show those employers why you're the perfect candidate.
I love that. Great advice. And on that note, we're going to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive. But don't worry, we've got one more part coming up where we'll, give you some final thoughts to ponder as you start this exciting career journey. Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive into becoming an equine dental technician. We've gone over all those interview questions you might get hit with.
And how RoleCatcher can help you prepare.
Right, exactly. But before we wrap things up, I think we should take a minute to think about like the bigger picture.
Yeah, like what it really means to be an advocate for equine dental health.
Yes. We've talked about all the technical stuff, but at the end of the day, these animals depend on us.
Absolutely. They rely on us to understand their needs and to help them when they're in pain, so they can live a good life.
You're not just working on teeth.
Right.
It's about the whole horse. And I think that's something really important to keep in mind as you're prepping for this interview,
Yeah, why does this work matter to you?
Yeah, what kind of impact do you want to have on these horses' lives?
Thinking about those questions can help you in the interview, for sure. Interviewers want to see that passion.
That you really care?
Yeah, they want to see that empathy. They want to know that you understand that it's not just a job.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way.
Absolutely.
So go out there and ace that interview.
Become the best equine dental technician you can be.
We're rooting for you.
We are.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of equine dental technicians. We hope this has given you some valuable insights and maybe even inspired you a little bit. Remember, knowledge is power, and with RoleCatcher on your side, you're well on your way to making a real difference in the lives of these amazing animals. Good luck.